It's all gone, baby girl. Oh, no, you still got a little. All gone. All gone. Ooh, Figgy Newton. Them are yummy. Hey y'all, this is LaLa on LaLa Farm. It's been 90 days since some of these kids were born, so what happens next? So first I'm getting some feed to put out to lure the goats inside. That will allow me to catch the ones that I need to catch that are on my list so that I can get them weighed and do what I need to do. I'm not giving them a full feed. I'm just giving them a little bit to draw them in. This is one reason why we feed them this way. That way when I need them to come in, I can pull them in.
What happened, Nana?
I got shots.
You got shot? That's what happens when you go to the city.
No, I got shots.
Oh, shots, like medication shots.
So before we get started, I want to know, how do you decide what to do with your kids? Do you sell them? Do you cull them? What do you do? And what you do to make that decision. Do you use data or do you just go by body condition? Leave it in the comments.
What's going on right now?
Well, we've got a rogue baby. I think he knows he's going to be weaned today and he doesn't want to come in. So, he's in.
This is fun.
Okay, so now that we've caught the ones that we're going to do, we've got the boys and the girls that are 90 days old. The bucks, as I said, at 90 days, I pull them, force wean them over into the... Every time!
I got them for you.
Thank you. Every time he does that, every time. The boys at 90 days, I force wean. But I also weigh the girls and do a health check on them as well. At 90 days, that way I can get their stats as well and put them into my spreadsheet, and it helps me determine their average daily gain, which helps me determine which ones I'm going to keep, which ones I'll sell and register, and which ones I'll sell as commercial. Ready?
Yeah, let's go to work. Before Doofus makes any more noise. What are you doing, man? What are you doing with your life? You don't have anything to do other than interrupt videos. Why do you interrupt our videos? All the time. All the time. That's all you do is interrupt. Interrupt the videos.
I'm in charge of keeping track of their matchas and weights.
No, so you're like the note taker.
Yep.
So we need a note taker at 90 days too then. Note taker? Check.
I got my notes.
Looks like you're really proficient at taking notes.
I know.
Hey, Bets. Hey, baby. Hey, baby girl.
When my goats are born on the farm, the first thing I do before I do anything is tag their ear with my Scrapie's tag. That's how I identify them in any tracking that I do, is with that number. And when you have a bunch of goats and you have mamas that are dropping white ones all over the place, it's kind of hard to keep track of whose white one it is. So I number them first. That's the first thing I do. Another thing I do, of course, is get their weight right away on the day that they're born. That helps you determine how they're growing and how healthy they are and that type of thing. in the long run. And then and so I also, for tracking purposes, will put down whether they were a single, you know, twins, triplets, whatever. That's more data for me to keep track of. And that's also for the mom side of it, because then I could tell how many she's given me at each different breeding season. I had one that last breeding season gave me 1, and then this time gave me triplets. So, and then I had another one that gave me 2 and then gave me 4. So it gives me an idea what the mom's doing as well, so I can better track it. So this is Patrick. Him and Magnus are the only boys that we've named. We named him Patrick because he sounds just like my grandson Patrick, who's constantly yelling for his mama. 37.2.
He's the biggest.
So he's got some good size for being 90 days. I like to see them at 90 days at least over 35 pounds. Oh goodness. Oh goodness, Patrick. Not that big of a deal. Little snip, little snip. Of course, I went over what we do with the babies after they're born. The number one thing is to get their weights and get the tag in their ear so I know who they are. The reason why I track weights so closely, I measure them at 30, 60, 90, and 120. And the reason why I do that is because it gives us a good idea of it gives us their average daily gain, but it also gives us a good idea percentage-wise where they fall within the group, so that it can help us determine which ones we're going to retain, which ones we're going to register and sell, and which ones we're going to sell as commercial or take to the sale barn. I keep close track of their weights because it also helps me determine their health and how well they're doing. How we track these weights is, again, I put them into my goat tracking system that I use, and then I also have a spreadsheet that Rick developed. Big Rick, he's a statistics buff. He loves to do anything with data and statistics and all that. I'm sure you've heard him talk about it before. But we put all this into the spreadsheet, and it averages things out, and it gives us a percentage of where they fall within that breeding group, and then helps us make our determinations from there. Okay, so now that I've gotten the weights on these ones that are 90 days old today, put the does back in with the mamas, brought the boys over here to the buck side. Our buck pasture is only split up in 2 paddocks. So I have my mature bucks on one side, I got these babies that I'm weaning on this side. I don't hold the bucks too long. Once I get them all weaned, I might hold them for maybe, I don't know, 30 to 60 days, try to get a little bit more weight on them. If I sell the bucks right off the farm, that's great. If not, then they go to the sale barn. I don't hold them for too long because I only have 2 paddocks on my buck pasture, and I like to rotate the bucks and allow one side of the pasture to rest while they're in the other side. So having the bucklings on the one side will really deplete the forage over here. So I want to make sure I get them out and give that time to rest before I put my mature bucks back over there and start the rotation again. So they'll be staying over here in our buck barn. If you're interested in that video, check it out. And remember, always be kind to one another.